90% of runners never get faster because they keep getting injured. I'm a sports scientist, physiotherapist, and former professional triathlete. And in this video, I'll show you what the science say about preventing injuries and what we can actually do to fix running-related injuries when they do happen, so that you can actually run pain-free and get faster. To understand how to fix injuries and how to prevent them in the first place, we first have to understand the two main types of injuries that we face as runners, because each one needs to be treated completely differently. When it comes to what we call the musculoskeletal system, so basically everything that we can move, we are usually dealing with two types of injuries, either overuse or overload. Now, don't get lost on me here, I'll try to make it simple. Overload injuries happen when we push a tendon or muscle beyond its limit. Think something like hamstring tears. Overload injuries happen from doing too much too soon, or not recovering properly. Overuse injuries, on the other hand, is when you repeat the same movement over and over again without changing anything. And as you have probably guessed by now, these are your typical running-related injuries. Things like Achilles tendon pain, runner's knee, and tight hip flexors. All of the annoying stuff where pain comes creeping in over time. There's also acute injuries, so like when you step wrong and fall and sprain an ankle. Let me show you what these injuries look like in real life. Let's say someone signs up for a marathon and then they go from never running to running 5 times per week with sprints on Sundays. Within a few weeks, they pull a hamstring or rupture their Achilles tendon. That's classic overload. Too much, too soon, and the body can't keep up. Or here's another one. We all know the runner who sticks to the same 5K route with the same shoes and the same pace day after day. And they're on day 342 of their running streak. No strength training, no variation. Over time, their hips start to tighten and their knees start to hurt a bit. They think that their body is just getting old, but in reality, it's because they do the same thing over and over again. No variation, no change, just repetition and breakdown. That's overuse. Basically, micro stress that builds up until something gives. So, what are the risk factors associated with these types of running-related injuries? Or put another way, how do we prevent them? A systematic review from 2021 found that there's one thing that almost guarantees you'll get injured again unless you manage it, and that is having been injured before. Research shows that for long-distance runners, a previous running-related injury is the strongest predictor of getting hurt again. For short-distance runners, it's even more interesting. The biggest risk isn't from running itself, but from any past injury, even if it came from something else. Other major risk factors include a higher body mass index, older age, being male, and no previous running experience. Does that mean we're doomed if we've ever been injured before? Not exactly. It just means that we need to be more careful than people who have never been injured. So, what can we do to prevent injuries from happening in the first place? And what do we do if and when they happen? Let's talk prevention first. You've probably heard that strength training and balance drills and core work will help reduce injury risk. But does the research actually back that up? A meta-analysis from 2024 looked at exactly that. Do exercise-based injury prevention programs work for endurance runners? They reviewed 9 studies over 1,900 runners and found that exercise alone didn't reduce injury risk compared to just running. But before you go tell your friends that nothing works, here's the twist. When they looked only at supervised programs, the injury risk reduced significantly. In other words, just telling runners to strength train and work out doesn't work. But when we have the right guidance and someone to hold us accountable, injuries go down. So it's not just about the exercise program, it's about the execution. And a systematic review from 2018 actually found that a 10% increase in strength training volume reduced the risk of injury by more than 4%, which means that strength training actually does prevent injuries. You just have to do it. and do it with proper technique. Alright, that's all good when we have no injuries, but what do we do when we do get an injury? While there's a lot of conflicting advice online about returning to sport from an injury, everything from just run more to complete rest, the scientific community agree upon a few things. With overload injuries like an ankle sprain, the key is to reduce the load immediately. You need to give the body space to heal, whether it's a strained muscle or a torn tendon. But that does not mean complete rest. It means controlled rehab and gradually building back strength and mobility until you can run again. Overuse injuries, on the other hand, aren't about just a single bad session, so it's not about getting back to training again. It's about finding the root cause of that injury. They're about patterns. We have to fix the input, otherwise every time you get back to running, you'll just run into the same injury once again, and I've seen it happen so many times, year after year, the same injury with the same people. We have to change the input if we want to fix that injury. Vary the pace, mix up the terrain, look at running form, do some strength training, and rotate the shoes. And sometimes we need to run less to achieve more. But we rarely need complete rest. It's more about finding the right volume that we can handle while finding the root cause and fixing that. But now you're probably thinking, but what if I have an injury right now? Are there any guidance I can follow? Before we continue, remember that every injury is unique, so always consult with a medical professional. But there are some scientific guidelines that we can turn to for the 5 most common running-related injuries. Let me show you how they show up, and more importantly, how we can fix them so they don't come back. The first one is runner's knee. The problem is pain around or behind the kneecap, especially going downstairs, after sitting, or after a long run. A scientific review from 2019 found that to help runner's knee, exercise therapy can decrease pain and improve function. We should focus on both hip and knee-centered exercises rather than the knee alone. So, based on that, here's what we can do. Strengthen our glute medius and our external hip rotators with side planks, clamshells, and what's called resistant band walks. Add step downs and single leg squats to train knee alignment under load. And from my own experience, I've found that reducing downhill running and picking up the cadence can help a ton in most cases. Next up, let's look at Achilles pain. This shows up as pain or stiffness at the back of the ankle. It's usually worst in the morning or when pushing off. Research has found that the Achilles tendon respond well to gradual loading. This paper from 1998 showed that eccentric heel drops, where you slowly lower your heels, are one of the most effective rehab strategies. This actually led to something that physios now call the Alfredsson protocol. Here's how it works. You do what's called eccentric calf raises off a step. It means you start by standing on your toes and then drop down slowly. You do 3 sets of 15 reps. Twice per day. Once you can do that without any pain, you can progress to some hopping drills and then slowly return to running. In my experience, we need to avoid complete rest. It usually just makes things worse. The next one is shin splints. This shows up as aching or sharp pain along the inner shin, especially early in the run. A review from 2020 found that overtraining, sudden volume spikes, and poor ankle mobility are primary risk factors for shin splints. So based on those findings, here's what we can do. Cut running volume by at least 30% and avoid hard surfaces. Add strengthening exercises around the ankle to increase stability. It could be something like heel walks or calf raises. And then we can try to improve ankle flexibility with mobility drills. The fourth one on the list is IT band syndrome. This shows up as sharp or burning pain on the outside of the knee. A systematic review from 2012 concluded that hip knee coordination and running style appear to be key factors in the treatment of IT band syndrome. Runners might also benefit from mobilization exercises to strengthen the hip and advice about running shoes and running surface. So how do we fix it? Strengthen the glutes and lateral sides of the hips with exercises like lateral band walks and single leg bridges. If you see your pelvis dropping or knees crossing inward, you can work on running form drills and form cues to correct alignment. The last one is what's called plantar fasciitis. This injury shows up as heel pain underneath the foot, and usually after a long run or early in the morning. Research shows that strengthening the foot's intrinsic muscles reduces strain on the plantar fascia. So to fix it, we can do the following. Try to pick up something off the floor with your feet and drop it again. Do that that for 10 to 15 reps twice daily. Combine strengthening with mobility. I found that calf raises and rolling underneath your foot with a tennis ball can help reduce pain. So here's the TLDR for you. Strength training will help you reduce your injury risk, but only if it's done consistently and supervised. Resting alone won't reduce injury risk. We need a return to sport strategy. The best thing you can do is to get yourself sorted out at a physiotherapist as soon as possible so you can get back to running again. But some of these injuries don't just come from training errors. They come from poor running form. If your technique's off, you're putting stress on all the wrong places. So to fix that, watch this video next where I break down perfect running form step by step.